And welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the Intermission Show. What a first period. Very well played by the Blues. Up 1-0. Actually, I was impressed. A lot of open, and actually it sent me a text. Hopefully she'll be up here soon. A lot of open ice entries. We've seen that. Good first period. Falk looking good, and Kid Neighbor solid few shifts of his career. Yeah, I agree. He was out there. He was throwing the body. Tarasenko was in on the back check. He broke up at least two breakaways by the Avalanche. That was tweeted out by Lou Korik, I think it was. I've been talking about that for a little bit, about how Tarasenko's defense has been a lot better than people have given credit for. I think we've seen it today. His thing was really good. And Ryan says, I'm live in 65-inch Samsung surround sound. How good that is. I really don't know how good it is. Guido saying hi. The fight, you called it. You called it dead on. You said it would be Shin.
Oh, yeah, Shin.
Right? And then, someone said it wouldn't happen. And I had a feeling it would happen in the first couple of shifts. That's what I
40
said.
40 seconds in.
Say again?
40 seconds in.
Yeah, and that. Got some bad news today. Just got it here shortly. John Hefner, who hopefully will be here in here shortly. His brother passed away today. Yeah, he knew his brother's had cancer for a while and been in really bad shape. John, our hearts go out to you and your family. I know you're going to be in St. Louis soon, so our hearts go out to you today. And thank you for being a fan and a fan of the show. We really appreciate it. So let's get into some of the fun stuff we got going on here. Let's pull up some stats. What stat are you most interested in there, Miss Ashley?
Hits.
Hits. Let's see if I got hits up here. I got to pull up a different stat one. I don't have it on the one I've got here. They've got the penalty minutes and that. Shannon Kai Bortuzzo for interference. That wasn't interference, but that was a good penalty kill.
Yes, it was.
They needed that penalty kill. Shots, 11 for the Blues, 5 for the Avalanche. That is important. That is absolutely important there. We needed that more than the goal, I think. Right?
No, we needed that goal, but I just like how it was Justin Falk. I figured that it was just fitting.
Yeah. Good goal, but there's just the overall getting the shots. That's what the Blues have needed.
And the entrances have been.
Yes, I mentioned that before you came on. That you told me that the entries have been really good. Hits are 8-4 for St. Louis. Giveaway takeaways. St. Louis has 4 takeaways and one. Let me make sure I get that right. Yeah, St. Louis has 4 takeaways. They have 1 giveaway. The Avalanche have 1 takeaway and 2 giveaways. Block shots are 6-3 for St. Louis, so it's a team win so far. Face-offs 53-47. Very good team game so far. Bennington had 1 really big save.
Oh yeah,
early in the first, and that's probably why this game is 1-1. I will give that.
1-0. I thought it was.
Say again? Or 1-0. Yeah. What did I say? 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0. That's why I think what I meant to say was why it's not 1-1. That's what I meant to say. But no, Falk shot really good, just from above what I call the house.
Yeah.
Right? Just from above. And you know what I mean by the house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And that's actually, for me, that's the prime scoring area, right? And that's where you should see that in that area. That's where you want your shots to come from. That's where your rebounds come from. That's where your goals come from, right? If you can get in that area, you just the puck has enough. The puck's got velocity to it. It's got it's got some elevation. It can get elevation, and then also there's bodies there, so it makes it harder to see. Can't stop, but you can't see.
Exactly.
Pioneer says that a lot, right?
Exactly.
Martine says Bennington needs to keep up the play. Love Ashley, by the way. Yeah, we all love Ashley. Always take the shot when the D is in front with front of me, legs spread. I mean, that's a good point, right? I know Chris plays for the Blues Warriors, who I broke my arm with, but yeah, that's a great point there, Chris. In the triangle slot, it's close. For me, if you take and I'll kind of explain it, I wish I had a board. If you take the two face-off circles and you put a line right in the middle of both of them and draw that line straight down to the goal line, and then on the other way, you come up to the top of the circle, and then you make a 45-degree angle, and you come out, and when you come out with that angle kind of straightened out, about 6 foot out, you take that 45-degree angle and straighten it out and meet it. That's what I call the house, right? Not really the slot, but it's that dirty ice, right? It's all that dirty ice, and if you look at it, Shockley says he scored twice because of it, right? So
way to go,
right? Marianne said neighbors look good and Barbie look good. Now,
yes, neighbors look great. He was finishing all his checks. I was really impressed.
Yeah, neighbors went out there and had 2 checks in 1 shot.
Yeah,
right.
And it was all on his first
somebody,
shift.
Bounced off somebody else and checked somebody else. Bounced off to another check. So I mean, that was nice to see that. That is the grit has been missing from this team since the bubble.
Yes.
Right. Since the bubble, the grit has been missing. They're also missing. They were missing some of that veteran leadership on the defense. I think now that you have a healthy Parayko, and that's a very important healthy Parayko. You have Krug, who's his second year into the system, and you have Falk, who has fallen nicely into the system after a rough start. This is what we had always hoped for. Nick says Formato. I want to make sure I say that right. Definitely looks a lot stronger on the puck already. I'll agree with you. That bump off Vladdy and it did down low before the shot that went through the crease. So they're getting in there very well. They're playing a very strong game.
Now we just got to hope that the momentum stays. They don't let up.
Well, yeah, because last season, the second period was not good for the Blues. Not good for the Blues at all. Second period last year, I just seen this stat. I was looking at it. The Blues were like minus 18.
Yeah, it was some insane number.
Right. Yeah, it was just really, and even against the Avalanche, the numbers against the Avalanche were just, I mean, you looked at them and you go, no way. So I'm trying to find it here. Oh man, now why can't I find the stuff when you really want it, right? The stuff that I'd seen and I tried to remember it, but I know I can't remember it. So, but yeah, the Blues were not good in the second period last season. They were out, especially and against the Avalanche. The Avalanche in the second period just tore them up.
Yes, they did.
Tore them up in the second period.
But as insanely bad as the Blues' second period stats were, the Avalanche against all teams were amazing in the second period. So,
right, I agree with that. I'm not going to take that away.
That's probably why they ended up top for the season last season.
Yeah, well, they tied. I mean, they got up on the tiebreaker.
They got it on the tiebreaker, but they still got it.
Okay, I'll give that to you. And why can't I find this? This is driving me crazy. It was a good first period, but remember, and I caution everybody, because if we go back to last year, just against the Avalanche, the Blues scored 3 goals in the second. The Avalanche scored 11. And that's just the regular season. Right. So that's something to think about, you know. But I caution everybody, last year we schooled the Avalanche on the opening game of the season. Beat them 4-1 handily. It was a really solid goal. And
then they came back and spanked us 8-0.
Yeah, 8-0 the next game. So that's something to remember. Actually, so there's not a lot of those games. I wish they had more of those 2-on-2s. They were doing it with the Kings this season. We're going to be done with the Kings before October's done. Are right at the beginning of November. Our 3 games with the Kings are gone before, well, you know, they're done, over with, before the season's even a quarter of the way done.
That's the joys of us being back in our home conference.
Well, no, it's not that. See, it used to be you played 4 or 5 games in your conference. We did because we had the extra game. Now we play 3 or 4. So the Avalanche this season, we only played 3 times. Right? So that's something to be aware of. And I know I seen this stat, and now I can't seem to find it. It's driving me crazy.
You'll find it during the second period and just jot it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. So what am I missing here? Okay. Oh, lots of comments. Let's see. Here we go. The solid kid. I think I showed that one. Definitely looks a lot stronger on the puck already. I'll agree. The bump off Blatty. We had that comment. Thomas and Kyrie were flying out there. Yes, they were. Jordan's getting a little fancy, but I don't mind it. I don't either, as long as he's not losing the puck. I'll tell you what I've noticed is I don't miss Sanford.
I don't miss Sanford either.
I don't miss Sanford one bit. And I don't mean that. I know that sounds really, really bad, but you notice what you're not seeing is turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing a lot of turnovers, and that's important because Sanford was a turnover machine.
Agreed.
I hope they practice the majority of the time with the long change. I'm hoping they have too. Something about Colorado. Tim Kyber thinks the Blues will win the cup. You know what, Tim? I don't. And I'm I don't. I actually, it's going to be from the West, I think. But the East, there's the not the Metro, the Atlantic Division. Man, the Atlantic Division and the Central Division are by far the 2 best divisions. The Metropolitan and the Pacific are the weak ones. In fact, I see 5 teams coming out of the Atlantic and 5 teams coming out of the Pacific, or not the Pacific, the Central, and only 3 teams coming out of either one. Right? I'll tell you what, I know this isn't going to get the play that it should, but when it comes to the playoffs, I wish now that they're evened up, right, with 8 teams in every division, they go back to the 4-4, right? The top 4 teams from each division. Now would be the perfect time to go back and play like they did in the 70s and the 80s, right? Before the expansion, where you had 20 teams. You had 5 in each division, and all but the bottom team made the playoffs. But then you played within your division. That's where the fights with the Blackhawks came out. That's where the stuff with the Stars came out, though the Stars have since moved on. That's where the stuff with Toronto. Oh my goodness, we used to have some playoff games with Toronto and Detroit. That's where all that came from. Well, it looks like we're getting close. I got just a few minutes left. Any thoughts on the intermission, on the second period there, Ashley?
They just need to come out the same way they did in the first. Make sure that they're, making clean entries, no giveaways, keep shooting the puck, and Bennington's got to keep being strong.
Ashley has a love connection.
Oh.
Love Toronto down by 5. Oh, is Toronto getting beat up that bad? No way. I got to go check that.
Yeah.
Are they?
I have to check it. I know they were down by 4 a little bit ago, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Ottawa's beating them that bad?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that game should be over by now. Let's see, where am I at? Not letting me go over to all the scores. I'm trying to bring this up here real quick. We'll do our out of town scoreboard real quick. Hurricanes Predators 1-1 at the end of the second. Games that are over. Sabres earlier today beat Coyotes 2-1 in a shootout. Panthers 5-1 over the Islanders. Panthers are going to be good. The Bruins 3-1 over the Stars. Leafs 3-1 over the Senators. So the Leafs beat the Senators 3-1. Rangers 3-1 over the Canadiens. Red Wings 3-1 over the Canucks. Penguins 5-2 over the Blackhawks. I think that's what you guys were talking about. Lightning, and that for me bodes really well for my fantasy team. Lightning 2-1 over the Caps. That's going to be a good series and good play this season. And then the Jackets 2-1 over the Kraken. Kraken are not cracking as well as everybody thought they would. Oh, and Ashley left me.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
No problem. I was going over that. Bennett got a hat trick in the Florida game. Very nice. He's talking long time ago. Okay, that's what he was talking about. When the Blues came back. Yeah. I remember now. I think, was that the Monday Night Miracle? No, the Monday Night Miracle was against, was it against? No, Monday Night Miracle was against Calgary.
Mhm.
That was against Calgary. Please don't ignore my love. Martine, we all love you, my friend. We all love you. Ovi put home another Golden Knight, so that means he's 7 away from Hull. 6 or 7, right? I think
He's gonna catch Hull.
6 ties him, 7 beats him.
Mhm.
Right? No, he's going to pass Hull. There's no ands, ifs, or buts.
Yeah.
It's just how early he does it. Right? Vladdy, actually, if Vladdy has a really good season, he could move up to like 9th on the goal list for the. I mean, he'd need like 60 goals, but it's makeable. Okay, game's back on. Saying aloha, mahalo, and hopefully I'll kill.